Hello there, it's been a while hasn't it, but I'm here to talk about my new toy today, my new pen display. And for the past 2 weeks I have been playing around with it, trying to improve my skills so that my videos could hopefully improve as well. And for some context, all of my previous videos up to now have 100% been made using a mouse to draw, so this new tablet should make me better, so long as I keep developing my skills. You may have already noticed that I have a new character design as well. Well, it's more like an improved design on what I already had, and I am really happy with how it has turned out. But anyways, let me show you some of the stuff I have done with my new tablet since getting it. So yeah, this is the first thing I drew. It's sort of, I think, meant to be like a goblin woman thing. You know, it's my first head that I ever did. You know, I tried to do the mouth, the eyes. It looks alright. The hair, I like this curve right here. I don't know if that's even possible, but I sort of went for a Sonic look, and I think it's turned out pretty good for my first ever drawing on this tablet, you know, compared to just using a mouse. You know, I'm happy with the eyes, I'm happy with the mouth, I'm happy with the hair, I like it. The next thing I drew was, while I was in the room with my niece, she was drawing on some other tablet, was this. My first ever sort of like feminine body type thing. Honestly, when I first drew this, I was like, oh wow, this is incredible. The next thing I tried on the same day was a sort of basic anime head. You know, it doesn't really have any colour or, you know, personality. It's just the basic sort of like anime style head with the hair and the eyes. I was happy with it. Then, the way this room's set out, from where I was drawing, I could see my niece on her computer drawing as well. So what I decided to do, in secret, you know, because I'm a creep, is draw her. And this is incredible. I'm so happy with this. The only things that, you know, it's a bit lacking on, I think the eyes need to be a bit more in. You know, they're not usually flush against the nose, you know, but other than that, I am really happy with how this turned out. I then tried to do another sort of head, similar to, you know, this goblin woman, this here, and I'm so happy with this. Like, this was incredible. I just did it all naturally, just had an idea, went with it, and it turned out pretty good. Especially this eye here, you see. So what I did, I just made it into a separate picture, and if I zoom in, there you can sort of see how I've done it. You know, it's built up over many layers of shadings and highlights, you know, different thicknesses of lines, and it took a while to get this, but it was so worth it. Like, it was brilliant. I mean, honestly, eyelashes alone probably took the longest thing, you know, because trying to make eyelashes look realistic is so hard, but I managed to get it to a point where I like it. I then did a bit of fan art, you know, and one of my favourite films of all time is The Nightmare on Elm. No, wrong film. Wow, this is a problem with doing things live here. Wow. No, it's A Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. So, Jack Skellington, a character who I relate to pretty highly, you know, and I am so happy with this. This is honestly probably the best drawing I have ever done. You know, the mouth may, you know, not be at the edge here, you know, the shading may be a bit wonky like under the arms and here on the rib cage, but I am so happy with how this turned out. And I think this was the first drawing where I was like, wow, this is an actual good skill. I use reference images obviously for this isn't from memory, but I am so happy with how this turned out, and my parents were too. They were so surprised with how well this turned out. So then I did the same again, just did the moon instead, you know, because this one's the sun. You know, if you watch the film, the sun has this sort of pumpkin face. The moon is just that. Although at the start, you know, in the song This Is Halloween, it's the Oogie Boogie's face, so maybe I should have done that. I then did this, which, you know, isn't as good. That, like, something's wrong with it, and I think it's the eyes. The eyes I tried to make a lot simpler, you know, because I wasn't going for sort of hyper realistic like this. I wasn't going for this sort of hyper realistic look, but I wasn't going for, you know, just like a dot eye. So I did this, but something just feels weird. I think maybe because this doesn't connect to this like arrowhead here. And now we move on to sort of the thing I'm, you know, good at, you know, my sort of style, you know, of a circle head, some sort of hair, and an eggplant aubergine body. So I redid all my main characters, including, myself, but I also did Dad. And I tried to make them more realistic, So Dad, you have some, your hair's got a lot lighter up top, as in real life. You've also got that grey hoodie instead of your blue coat, because you seem to be wearing that more often nowadays. And something I have done is I've made them a bit shorter compared to the sides of the head. I did try to go for a sort of, big head, small body type thing, but it just didn't work out that well, especially with some of the later ones, one of them with long hair. So I ended up doing this for my dad. I also did my brother, John, who has this sort of like wispy, it's like candy floss on the top of his head. I don't know what's wrong with him. So, and obviously, he'll love this, gotta get that Xbox logo in there, he's an Xbox fanboy. Don't worry, I am as well. And then move on to my mum. Here she is. She's got more straw coloured hair rather than just a bright yellow, and hair tied back in this sort of curved ponytail which she has, and a sort of like fringe type thing. She also has this purple cardigan. I'm sure it's purple, but whatever it is now. And this thing here, I have no idea. I just saw it look nice with the purple sort of lavender colour. And then honestly, probably the head I am most proud of is my niece. And I did my niece, even though she's only been in one video, I think, with the phones one. I felt like doing it because she lives here now, so why not? So a lot brighter ginger hair, a more definition with more sort of like strands, and these blocks, going everywhere. And I asked her, what colour do you want? Just pick a colour. And she said light blue, so I did that. And the only problem I can see with this is that because of this hair here, you can't really see this hair here. You can't really see the body that much. So when I draw arms, it'll be sort of like, that type of thing. But anyway, you get the idea. It won't be, easy to tell. I'm really happy with how this looked, You got these definition lines here, the shading is probably the best I've done so far, and I just love how it looks, and this is sort of the style I'm trying to go for now. So I hope you like looking at my amateur art, and in 6 months perhaps I could compare my art now to then and see if I have improved. But anyways, I hope you liked it, and I will see you next week.